Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Wait, I know what you're thinking. Where can I get some of that sweet, sweet goods merchandise? I mean, you are right. It is pretty stylish and creatively designed. I'll tell you where you can go get it. You can go to teespring.com. If you look in the link description below, it'll take you to a website where you'll see all the gear that we wear here on the channel. Plus, you'll be, as the kids say, lit while they look at your fit. And that is probably the most disturbing thing I've ever said on this show. Just go buy a shirt.
Now, funny that you say because of his raunch, I guess, in the language that he chose, but
Yes.
and chooses it when he was doing a stand-up. People are basically saying because of all of the political correctness and everything that's out there in the world, it has not affected any artist as much as a stand-up comedian.
Yes, because they will cancel you in a heartbeat now. They will cancel you in a heartbeat for like things that you may have said decades ago. They'll cancel you in a heartbeat for an obvious joke. They'll cancel you in a heartbeat if you don't support something. So, and comedians are really taking a hit. Kevin Hart took a hit when he was doing the Emmys or with the Oscars. Yeah, for old tweets that he did when he was obviously just telling a joke. And Dave Chappelle just recently went through this. I mean, there's many of examples of comedians as of late going through this because of the political correctness that we have. And it's one of those things is that comedy's not supposed to be politically correct. And I know before you guys put in the comments, we also canceled who played Kramer?
Oh, yes, Michael Richards.
We canceled Michael Richards.
I ain't seen Michael Richards since.
He was being racist, though.
Yes, he was.
Though some non-politically correct jokes teeter on being racist. So, I mean, it's just one of those
But there
things
was
where,
no
like,
premise to what he was doing.
he just went
He
out
just
being
went
racist.
off
Yeah, he
on
just
a
went out
rant.
being racist.
And him, the thing that I found the most funny about that, of not his actual act, but him standing behind Jesse Jackson like, yeah, see, Jesse likes me, you know. I'm like, oh, that's like the worst thing that you could do, like, for real. Anyway,
So yeah, but for real, the it's now to where like if you make a joke, you almost have to do it in a sense to where, crap, are they gonna blow me up about this joke? How do I tone it down? How do I kind of clean this up? Can I scrub the internet of anything that I may have said before? In an old stand-up, I almost feel like Eddie Murphy can't come back because of Raw and Delirious. It's like, because the minute he comes and does another an actual live performance, a set, they're literally going back to those videos and they're gonna talk about all of his homophobic jokes that he said in there. It's like, yeah, all that stuff's gonna come up. And it's one of the things where, like, I feel like, especially for comedians, that they should have a little more leeway in what they say on stage.
I think so too. And to be honest with you, I think that the stage is sacred ground. I don't think that anybody that's on there, if there is no true context in what it is that they're saying and they're downright being ugly and mean and rude about the whole thing, then absolutely, that's different.
Right.
But if there's a point, if there is actually a point and there's an opinion on there, which I heard something interesting earlier this week. It was, everybody has an opinion, but a right to their opinion, but you have the right to not accept their opinion. And that holds true so much, especially when it comes to the stage, the mic, and the comic. And that's supposed to be where people let it out. That's supposed to be where comics are able to just completely, let loose and do what it is that they feel and say what they want to say in what they feel inside. And if there's a lot of passion about it, then I think that it's worth listening to, at least, whether you agree with it or not. You look at the top comedians of back in the day that were highly affected by racism. Richard Pryor comes to mind.
Right.
And he was political, in a lot of ways. But he was he hit every freaking joke on point, and he was not, it took a while, but once he did, you couldn't really stop him. Carlin is another one. George Carlin was another one that was a lot like that too. And what's funny is that they were very similar, and they're white and black. They're different ethnicities, and they still were talking the same thing. Neither one of those comedians could last in this time.
Oh, no.
Right now.
No.
A movie like Blazing Saddles could not be remade right now.
No. I also think like a lot of the films that came out in that time frame just could not be remade. But I also feel too that and I don't want to make it a racist thing, but I kind of feel like there are certain groups that tend to get put there's more weight on what they say. Like I said, I announced like two. So
You think it's the name?
So like if you're at the top, then people kind of hold you to a higher level.
Okay.
Because there was a comedian I just watched last night on Netflix. I had to look his name up. I couldn't remember, and I still watched it all the way. His whole thing is shocking. Is shocking you in his stand up, and it's literally oh my god.
Dice?
No. Oh, Dice would be a great
Dice
example
yeah.
from back then.
Kingston?
But I'm thinking about right now. His name's Russell Howard.
Okay.
And he's a British comedian, and literally he does his sets like who was on the King's Comedy? Name him real quick.
Bernie?
Nope.
Cedric?
Nope.
Steve?
Nope.
DL?
D.L. Hewley. He does his sets like D.L. Hewley, where it's just like joke. But all his jokes are insensitive.
Okay.
It was like one of the jokes were like, hey, I got really good making vegetables. I bought a hammer.
That's pretty funny.
Right? So, I mean, like, his jokes are like that. And it was not like that. He went through, like, handicap jokes. He went through racist jokes. He went through, like, sexist jokes. And it was just joke. And they were all insensitive. But that whole net of let's cancel you for saying something that's not politically correct, they didn't cover him, right? Because he's not on that level. We're attacking the people who are on the top level for doing what they did when they weren't as popular.
Because the expectations are higher.
Yeah, so I mean, like, so then we're going to talk about they're not funny anymore because they can't be as edgy as they were before. You know, it's like, oh, he lost his edge. Well, because I feel the same way with Trevor Noah. I feel like the early Trevor Noah stuff was more edgier, and because I feel like he worries in his stand-ups now so much about like, I don't want to be kicked off the Daily Show and on Comedy Central, and it was like, so he's kind of like toned it down some, and I was like, damn, you're not as funny, dude.
And you know what sucks is that, I used to write comedy. I wrote comedy with our good buddy Zeke, the most interesting man in San Antonio. And some of the stuff that we wrote was more like toilet humor and potty mouth and that kind of thing. And sometimes it's actually safer to do that because there's no politics behind it. There's nothing. There's just an everyday life experiences and stuff like that.
You gotta make fun of just generic things at this point because there's always going to be a group that feels where they feel like that you offended them. And that's been a thing that comedians always talk about. They were like, hey, I got done with a set. Somebody came up to me, told me how much that my joke hurt them or how mad at me they were about the joke that I said because it felt like I was personally attacking them. And then, I either make a funny comment back to them or I explain what the joke was about and where I come from. And it's just what they deal with. But now it's like that person tweets it out and then it gets a big following. And then we're talking about how this person should never be able to do their business ever again. Right. So,
and, Zeke had a bit about old men and turkey neck on their balls. So would we get complaints from turkeys all over the world that we were anyway, all right, so one comedian that was talking about this, and as far as the sensitivity is of people that would probably hinder a lot of comedians in their deliveries of what they want to talk about, and that's Steve Harvey.
Right.
And one of the quotes that he said was, the only way that I can do one more special is if it's at the end of my television career, because it will end my television career.
Yeah. And you got to worry about anything anymore.
We're in a cancel culture now. No stand-up that is sponsor-driven can say anything he wants to. Chris Rock can't. Kevin Hart can't. Cedric the Entertainer can't. D.L. Hughley can't. I can go down the list. The only person that can say what they want to say on stage is Dave Chappelle, because he is not sponsor-driven.
Yeah.
He's subscription-driven. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
And they tried to cancel him on Netflix, but Netflix stood by him. They were like, we don't see anything that's worth this.
Hey, let me show you this money that he sent. That he generated
like,
for us.
if they weren't streaming his stuff, maybe we'd support you. And it's literally all about money. So you'll get the support that you're backing that you need if you make the money. But the minute you don't make the money, they're not going to support you anymore. And that's just business in general. You just like athletes. Hey, I'm the star player on my except for Antonio Brown. I'm the star player on my team. I can act up. And that's only because he got like 5. That's only because he got 5 chances.
That was a good one, sir.
It's only because he got 5 chances that he can't do it no more. But it's basically, I'm the star player on my team and I can act up. But because I am the star player on this team, they're gonna support me and they're gonna clean up my messes. So with Dave Chappelle, it's like he's the star player. He is the star player of the comedy team. He's the star player right now. Kevin Hart's got so many damn brand deals and stuff like that. He can't do that. And it's like he's gonna lose it. Like you said, I'm on Netflix and whatever road shows that I do. That's all. So in order for us to get comedy back the way it was, they're gonna have to give up their brands.
Yep. So tell us what you think as far as cancel culture. Is it really affecting comedians the way people think, or not?
I mean, it definitely is. Think about your favorite comedian and some stuff that they said that you were like, ooh, why'd you say that? And then look at all the hate that they got from it.
I think, honestly, if from the comedians back in the day, obviously Pryor, Carlin, Kinnison, Andrew Dice Clay, I think maybe even Bill Hicks, I think those guys, Lenny Bruce for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of those guys would be able to withstand the cancel culture the way it is right now.
No, I think Bill Burr, I kind of feel like...
Ooh, Bill Burr's another good one.
He comes out of that, or at least at the end of that era, and he walks a fine line, but he's fucking hilarious, dude. Yes, he walks a fine line of making sure that he does not come up on that. And that's the whole thing. Now that they have to walk that line, the tightrope, it was like one word too many, and then your whole career's over.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right.
All right, so
tell us what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. I'm sure we talked a lot about this, so that's our love for comedy. We had an idea for a show for comedy, where it's been a perfect time to do it about like all the comedy that's on Netflix. Pick the show and then kind of discussed it and what worked well. But maybe that'll come in 2022 or 2023, something like that. Subscribe as well as click the notification button so you're aware of all the other things that we do on the channel.
Wait, guys, are you still here? I'm glad you're still here. All right, so if you look down, I mean, it's somewhere over here. Look down. We actually have a Patreon. So if you guys watch this show and you really like what we want to do and you want to help support the show and you want to help me get an editor so I can get to sleep at night because I'm really tired and you guys see all my mistakes in the episodes. So please go to patreon.com/thegoods. Give us a penny, give us a nickel, give us $1.
Just don't give us the finger.
Don't do that. But make sure you do donate something because we do have some giveaways. There's posters, there's t-shirts.
I'll sign something for you.
Exactly. So take a look, guys, and help us out. We appreciate it.